It was the fall of 1998, in a quiet suburb outside of Portland, Oregon, when I moved into a small rental house on the edge of town. It was cheap, a little too cheap for the neighborhood, but I was 22, broke, and desperate for a place of my own. The house was old but cozy, with creaky hardwood floors and tall windows that overlooked the backyard. The first few weeks were uneventful. I spent most evenings working late at a nearby diner, coming home tired enough to collapse straight into bed. But one night, as I was locking up, I noticed something strange. Out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw a figure at my bedroom window. It wasn't clear, more like the outline of someone standing just beyond the glass. My heart jumped, but when I turned, the yard was empty. I laughed it off, convincing myself it was my reflection or the way the shadows moved in the porch light. The next night, though, it happened again. This time I saw it more clearly. A tall, dark figure pressed close to the glass. I could see the faint suggestion of shoulders, a head, and what unsettled me the most, the sense that it was leaning forward watching. I dropped the curtain immediately and grabbed the closest thing I had to a weapon, a heavy flashlight. My hands shook as I stepped outside, scanning the yard. Nothing. The ground was soft from recent rain, but there were no footprints, no sign anyone had been there at all. I told myself I was overtired, maybe imagining things. But deep down, I knew I hadn't. Over the following weeks, the sightings grew more frequent. Every few nights, just as I was about to go to bed, I'd catch it at the window. Always the same. Tall, still, leaning in as though it wanted to see me. It never moved. It never knocked. Just watched. I stopped opening the curtains altogether. I even considered moving, but rent was cheap and money was tight. I tried to convince myself I was just being paranoid, until one night I woke up to the sound of tapping. It was faint, rhythmic, like a single fingernail on glass. I lay frozen, the sound coming from the bedroom window just a few feet from my bed. My curtains were closed, but I could see the silhouette behind them, something tall, standing inches away. The tapping stopped, and for a long moment there was silence. Then, slowly, the shadow's head tilted. I don't know how I knew, but I could feel it smiling at me from the other side. I wanted to scream, but my voice stuck in my throat. Instead, I grabbed my phone and called the police. By the time they arrived, the shadow was gone. The officers searched the yard, the street, even checked with neighbors, but there was nothing. No footprints, no signs of forced entry. One of them suggested maybe I'd dreamed it. I wanted to believe that. I really did. But then came the night I'll never forget. I had started sleeping with the lights on, too afraid of the dark. Around 2 a.m., I woke to the sound of the floor creaking inside the house. I sat up, every nerve in my body on edge. That's when I saw it. The shadow wasn't at the window anymore. It was inside, standing at the foot of my bed. It was darker than the rest of the room, like a void shaped like a man. I couldn't make out a face, but I felt its eyes locked on me. My chest tightened, my heart hammering so hard it hurt. I tried to move, but I couldn't, like my body was frozen under its gaze. For what felt like hours, it just stood there. Then, slowly, it leaned closer, until its featureless face hovered inches from mine. The air grew freezing cold, and in the faint hum of the overhead light, I heard it whisper, though the sound wasn't through my ears, but inside my head, "You let me in." I don't remember what happened next. I must have blacked out. When I woke, the shadow was gone. The window was open, though the latch had never been broken. I moved out the next day, left half my stuff behind, and never looked back. Years later, I drove past that old house, curiosity gnawing at me. A family lived there now, kids' toys scattered in the yard. I almost convinced myself it had all been stress and imagination. But then I saw it. As I slowed past the house, my eyes flicked to the upstairs window, the one that had been my bedroom. And there it was, pressed against the glass, the shadow, watching.